question again?
Question is really, is there a minimum that somebody should have to have before they set up a trust? If you only owns one property, and he's asking really two questions. One is there a financial minimum? The second is, I'm sure you have this too, customers should get a trust, but they don't think they should. Is there a minimum, and how do you explain to somebody what the practical minimum is?
It's a good question. The legal minimum is $166,000 of net equity. The practical minimum, I would say, is not dependent on the price of what you have, but dependent on how you're trying to distribute it. If you have, and this comes up the most, which is a single person will call me and they go, "Oh, my plan is easy. I don't even have children," and in my head, I'm going, "Oh my God, your plan is definitely not going to be simple, because now I have to go through all these family members and the what ifs and the what if, and it's just going to be pages and pages of things in there that you don't even know what's coming." But they always think it's simple, which is fine. I mean, it makes sense. I'm single, only have a house, but it's usually not. It's usually a lot easier when I have a child or I have two children. But either way, I would say that you're over 166,000, you should do it. And if you own a piece of real property, you should definitely do it.
I think I could say with confidence, every time I've had a probate case where there was litigation, had they had a trust, it would have cost them a lot less. I had one where a guy died, no kids, and his girlfriend claimed she was a wife and was promised the house and litigated on the basis that she was entitled. And obviously, if he had a trust, would have resolved the issue, at least to some degree. I guess you could still claim she was married. Or other cases where other family members pop up saying they're entitled or they're promised things. The trust at least creates a stronger defense against those kinds of attacks at some level. Okay. So Ahmad asks, what do you recommend for young adults who do not own real estate, like they own a car, retirement account, bank accounts, some crypto, etc.? So if they don't own 160, should they have a trust, or is will fine? Now, one of the areas we haven't talked about, we talked about real estate, which is our main focus, but from a personal level, there's also the issue of health issues, and what happens if you're incapacitated, and what happens after you pass. How are things handled? So maybe you can cover some of those issues. Not only just planning in advance is nice, but what are the other areas of control that you have when you have a trust that you might not have when you don't do that?
Right. So what are the main documents in the estate plan is really, I think, where we should start here. You have the trust, the will. I told you not to do a will, but you do a special kind of will with the trust. It's called a pour-over. You have something called a healthcare power of attorney or a healthcare directive. You have a power of attorney. All four of these are documents that are essential to an estate plan. Now, you could take the trust out if you have less than 166, let's say, and just use the other three. And that should be sufficient for your life too. But the way I look at it is, yes, maybe today you're at $100,000 and you don't need a trust or a will. But when you pass away, if you're at $167,000, you need a trust, right? So you have to think of it in the future, and you might as well do a trust, unless it's someone's end of life and they're just trying to get something done and they have just a couple bank accounts, very low income, let's say. I don't know. Something along those lines, maybe you're good with just a will. But if it's anything else, I would just say have a trust. You set it up once. You don't have to think about whether you've created this trust, because the trust at the end of the day, what is it? It's a bucket, right? Think of it as a bucket, and you have to move your stuff in there. So 20 years from now, if you buy another piece of property, you just have to move it in the bucket yourself through escrow. You don't even have to call me to do that, right? You could. I would be happy to help you to move it in there. But through escrow, you just put it into the bucket. Through escrow, you put your bank accounts in the bucket. Not escrow, sorry. You just have to put your bank accounts in the bucket. You have to put every asset that you have inside the bucket. And then you just change the terms of the bucket as time progresses, so a couple tweaks. Oh, I have a new child. I want to give more to this charity. Those are tweaks that you make, and you just tweak it up every couple of years. But you don't have to recreate the bucket anymore once you make it. So you might as well just do the bucket. Did I answer all the questions? I'm not sure.
I think you did. One of the saddest days I was at probate court in the research room one day, and a guy came in tears, and his child had a girlfriend who was visiting from out of the country, had a terrible accident, was like on life support, and I don't know if they wanted to turn it off or turn it on or whatever the story was. they had no control because the parents were, I think, were in Japan, and the girl, they had no legal process. Where if at least in America, if you have a trust in that situation and includes the medical directives and you pre-plan those things, you can effectuate whatever you want done. But it was just heartbreaking. So there's advantages to having this preparation done before, beyond just the money side, which is important, as well as your personal choices, whether it be what happens when you're gone or also while you're alive, to give people the right power and choice over medical decisions and things like that. I can imagine in my case, we have a new grandchild, and we have, my wife and I are married, and then we have my son-in-law has parents. And so God forbid something happens to my daughter and her husband, who would, make decisions for the child. And that's complicated. And so those are kinds of things that have nothing to do with the money, but have to do with the kind of life you want to have.
Okay, if you enjoyed the video, your next step is to sign up for the webinar by clicking the link above. And if you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and comment below. Be happy to address them. See you soon.